Welcome back to another episode of Mental Health Monday. Here with my boy Mad Dapper. What up, boy?
How y'all living?
Cooling, man. Let the folks know who you are and what it is that you do.
DC native, Maryland resident. Those ain't the same. Please respect it. Ain't no such thing as DMV. I'm gonna leave that alone. I know that's a problem, but it is what it is. It's the area. Anyway, educator, cultural critique, I guess, in some aspects. Some part-time content creator, overthinker.
This goes back to that school conversation we
like,
had.
Man, yeah, overthinker. Like shit.
Yeah. All right, man. So you got some sneakers on you, man. Let us know about the sneakers, man. What's the first one you want to introduce today?
Pardon my King's English. So I guess you just asked me like, four sneakers that make sense to me, right?
Yeah. Before that makes sense to you.
All right, I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna start with these. People should know these.
Okay.
First and foremost, wear your sneakers. To start there, like my shit ain't gonna look pristine. It ain't gonna look like some damn sneakers you just never had like on the ground at all. They will be cracks. They will be like bumps and shit. Of course, I'm gonna start off with the black and infrared sixes. These are the re-release, but they do got the Nike Air on the back, so it's like
you can go ahead and put it in the camera.
True to the OG modes. If you don't know what that actually means, you're a hype beast by general principle. Just stop. Let's start in there. Give us some side profile of these sneakers, man. You can just hold one sneaker and put the box down. You don't gotta keep the box on your lap. Listen, man. All right, cool. My favorite Jordans. I don't know why I tend to like sneakers that came out the year I was born.
Okay.
This was a giant that he was wearing, en route to his first title. Technically, going from 89 to 90, but I was alive, so shit counts. Of course, I don't have the ones from that year because they would have been dramatically smaller.
Yeah.
But when these came back out, I had to get them.
What year was this?
Shit, this was 2018 or 2019, one of the two. But yeah, and then like for me, and I'll get into this later, like this era of Nikes, anything that's like remotely close to Huaraches, I love. So this is like a high top Huarache. It's not the flight Huaraches, but this was like Jordan's.
Was that the build for Huarache?
No. So like you do got the flight Huaraches, right? The white, the OG colorway, the white, black, like royal and purple giants, right? But with Jordan and everything, they had their whole things in Nike. They had flight and they had force. Like he flight Huaraches. Jordan was like flight brand. Everything Barkley was kind of force brand. So they kind of was in the same, thing at the time. But yeah, so these are my favorite Jordans. Supreme comfort. Even to this day, I would never ball in these jeans. I'm not gonna lie to you, but these jeans will never. I'm gonna keep at least one pair in the closet at all times. I'll say that.
What's life growing up when it came to purchasing sneakers?
Well, first of all, I didn't really start getting a pair of sneakers that I actually liked. And let me not say that. I didn't start getting a pair of sneakers that I wanted. Preferred is the word, right? Until like I was 13 when my foot stopped growing.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
I grew up and went to Catholic school. My parents, they were alright money wise, but you had a couple things going on. You had people that was out here getting shot for brand new sneakers and killed and whatever. And then my parents were just like, I'm gonna buy you a pair of new sneakers for a year, and then you can't wear them no more. And then I'm gonna give them to who? Like you don't have any younger siblings. It's not a thing.
As someone who suffered from ADHD.
Yeah. What's actually funny about that, because like with ADHD, it's easy to kind of like not stick to something for a long time either. Anyway, right? You can't concentrate like you want to, and I don't even think like I have a better understanding now of like what that looked like.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just concentration. It was literally being somewhat aloof not being able to make choices. We kind of talked about this choice paralysis. Like, imagine.
So choice paralysis is a side product or a byproduct of ADHD.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you know,
Tell me more about that.
So I'm constantly in my head, right? I'm constantly thinking, and I can quickly change focus on one thought to another. It's not just like looking at something externally and not being able to focus. It's literally internally too. So like, imagine somebody with ADHD going to a sneaker store with their parent. Parent asks them, "Okay, pick a sneaker that you want." That's cool, but you have a wall of sneakers at a time when Nike was dropping dope stuff. Adidas had like the feet you wear. They had the old Kobe drinks at once upon a time. All those other like kicks that was coming out at the same time, and they're like, "Oh, pick one." You're literally running through every single scenario in your head about what it means if you buy a certain pair of sneakers. Does the color go with multiple things I have? Yeah. Can I wear them to school and they're not gonna make fun of me? Can I wear them to school and the girls gonna start liking me? Is it gonna make me jump better when I play basketball? Like, all those other things is gonna happen at the same time.
I love how you're holding your rapper hands.
Nah, it's just
the camera's like, bro, we can't get his rapper hands. I was like, no, I got you, but that's how he talk.
That's how I talk. That's just how I talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, so like, you know, and on the flip side of that, as I became an adult, because I couldn't get the sneakers that I wanted when I was younger, when I became like in high school and as an adult, I started to just go after sneakers that I wanted. Unfortunately, one of the byproducts of the medicines you have from ADHD can bring about depression. So what
really?
Oh yeah. So
wait, when you were first prescribed the medication, did they warn you about what can happen on it, or did you just figure this out as you went?
I mean, they tell you that. They tell you that, but like as a kid, it's like, what does it mean? Like, mind you, like when I was first diagnosed with ADHD, I was in 2nd grade.
How old were you?
7, 6, 7.
Were you an off-the-wall kind of kid when it came to ADHD, or you just had problems focusing?
That's the funny shit about it, right? So like,
because I know there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's different levels of it, right?
It can be, right? Now, mind you, this is a time when they still had ADD also.
Okay.
So
what was ADD at that time?
ADD is like attention deficit disorder. ADHD is attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So they were like, "Oh, you were off the wall. You were hyperactive." It was like, "Oh no, he just has like issues with like focusing." Well, the thing is, like, it's all ADHD now. I wasn't off the wall. I had a teacher. I'm not gonna say what her name was. All I'm gonna say is because of her, her goddaughter was Laura on Family Matters.
Really?
Real life story. So I can't stand Laura from Family Matters because of my 2nd grade teacher.
Okay.
This is a real life thing. All right. So, my 1st grade teacher, I was smart. I know people be saying shit like that, but like I literally skipped kindergarten. They were like, "Fuck that! You ain't gotta like." What's the point?
You grew up with a different group of kids.
I grew up with a different group of kids, right? And I was still smart, so like they made me test into 1st grade, even though I was like, "Hey, yo, all right, I'm good here. Like, I know all this shit already."
So you didn't want to move to a different grade?
No, I was fine. Like I was starting a new school anyway, and they said, "Oh, he needs to go back to kindergarten." It's like he just like I skipped like K4, and they put me in kindergarten, right? I graduated from kindergarten. I was going to a new school, and they were like, "Oh, he has to go to kindergarten because of his age." And my mom was like, "But he just graduated from kindergarten." Like, well, let's test him. I aced the test easily, so I'm in 1st grade now, right?
Yeah.
1st grade teacher's like, so I'm getting good grades. My 1st grade teacher told my parents like, you know, he's real smart. It's just that when he's done his work, he wants to go and like play or like get up and go walk around the classroom and like or read books or whatever. My dad was like, yeah, he picks up things really fast. You got to challenge him. So she found other things for me to do while I was waiting for everybody else to do work and or finish their work. My stuff would be all right. I was just bored, so I just needed something to do. My 2nd grade teacher wasn't hearing that. So she was like, no.
She wasn't hearing the fact that you were finished with your work earlier than everybody else?
It was an issue. Like, I didn't sit down and listen and just stay still. Right? So apparently there's something wrong with me. Forget the fact that my work is right.
That's what kids do.
This is especially what little boys do. Right? So like it just comes with. So So they had to do something to like get me under control because I wanted to go play. I'm like, all right, I got my work done. You want me to sit here? Like, don't make sense. Like, let me be active. Let me do something.
Let me live.
Basically, right? So
do I hear Jay-Z in the background? Can I live?
no, like it's year later. I'm on medication, right? Okay. So I'm like, okay, Ritalin is the first thing. Funny enough, Ritalin's a narcotic. Man, all this shit's funny, man. These drugs, like, okay, we're living in 2021. We talk about all these drugs that people are taking.
2022 at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
2022 at the point that to come out, right? All these drugs people are taking, Xanax, Adderall.
This was all prescribed to kids.
It's all prescribed to kids, but these are all considered narcotics.
Now.
No, they were considered narcotics then. They were always like,
narcotics.
I can go show you my third grade textbook in science and it will actually show you a list of narcotics in the book and it included Ritalin. This is 1998.
Yeah.
So like, they've always known, but it is just, it served its purpose. But one of the side effects of it was depression.
Yeah.